let's get this started. Alright, in the top left position is IFU Cryoc. He's the white Terran, and in the bottom right is Bizzy as the teal Terran. And so, Cryoc, he needs to prove himself. He not only needs to prove himself, he needs to prove the Terran race. He needs to prove that the Terran race is not a joke race. The Terran race takes skill. You cannot just come in here and off-race in TVT and just win a tour over legitimate Terrans. Terran is actually a hard race. Terran is actually a hard race. He's the underdog, though, because Bizzy's a A- player. Man, eventually, one day I'll make a chart as to whether the player is an A- player or an A player. Obviously, I know, like, general tiers, but it's a little bit much to be memorizing the max rank of goddamn 100 different people. I seem to remember somebody saying, though, and really, at that, it's memorizing the max rank of 100 different people, but it's also memorizing max rank of 100 different people off of hearsay. It's like somebody else just say, oh yeah, he's A- high, when really they could be just guessing. That could be what they were 5 years ago, and now they're different. Eventually a spreadsheet will be made of everybody in their max rank. So when I say Bizzy's an A- player, I don't have to guess he's an A- player, and it turns out he's actually an A player. In that last series, or not in the last series, in the last series Bizzy played versus Michael, we did not see the Curse of the Cacao strike. I was sad about that, and I was trying to pay attention. But he played solid games. But I didn't see anything where he overcame the curse. I think the curse is still looming. There are no cacaos on this map, though. So, you might not see it yet, but I do think it's coming. So, both players with their factories, doing similar stuff. The map, for the record, is Jade. And I think I explicitly said that, but it is in fact Jade. Not a map we saw yet. No, we have not seen Jade yet. So first time today. Okay. Now, I think Bizzy, other than Michael, that one game he proxied vultures, I think Bizzy's been the biggest person here. He's been building lots and lots of vultures. And I don't know, we haven't seen a whole lot, we haven't seen the vultures do a whole lot of good. Obviously vulture harass is great, but it's just a matter of at what cost. Normally vultures don't cost anything because they're 75 minerals. They're throwaway. That's fine. But really in this game, that building that vulture cost him timing on the machine shop. Was it worth delaying siege mode that much? Was it worth having one less tank than your opponent, assuming you both do constant tank production from here on out? I don't know. We're gonna find out if that one vulture is worth it. Oh, Cryoc's going for that same attack. And this is like, this is what makes me laugh about him saying versus Lockdog, like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. He doesn't know what he's doing, but he's doing the exact same thing every time, and it seems very structured. A little bit of micro from Bizzy there, taking out one Marine. Vulture's at just above half health. Unfortunately, the Marines went out a little bit fast because he wanted to get the jump on Bizzy, but it means that the tank is lagging a bit behind. Tank now trying to catch up. That tank has a lot of range. It would really make it so that the Vulture couldn't micro. I think this is a mistake from Cryoc to be continuing forward with these Marines. If he just waited for the tank, then he wouldn't have lost an extra 3 Marines there. Now everything's dead except for that one tank, and the one tank against the Marines by himself, it's a pretty bad fight. But with that tank coming in, certainly a losing fight, and Cryoc needs to back off. But now for any attack Cryoc goes, with any attack Cryoc goes for right now, it's just going to be without Marines. It just can't be strong. So in this case, Bizzy going for that Vulture, great decision. It's really going to help him out, completely neutralizing Cryoc in this early game. Alright. So, tanks getting up onto the high ground, but can't keep that high ground position for long. And, oh man, losing a tank. Losing a tank. He's now, Cryoc, going to stand here and try to actually do some damage. Is he? No, he's not going to lose that tank, just barely. And he does maintain the high ground, but he's just never going to be able to overcome Bizzy. I think he needs to just regroup instead of funneling in tanks one at a time. I mean, that engagement wasn't bad, but the longer this continues, the more engagements are going to happen, and the more likely a bad engagement is going to happen. Because I really don't think a good engagement's possible for Cryoc, given the situation. Now this is fine. If he wants to take this high ground, has siege tanks, spreading them out. Very, uh-oh. Dang it. I was a little bit too far forward. I was gonna say, trying to go out very methodically, they were all along the same line, even spacing between them, and looked all pretty. But now Bizzy's first Wraith is out. I don't know why Cryoc has so little stuff. Did he cut SCVs? He's still building SCVs. But for whatever reason... Alright. Oh, this Wraith's gonna attack the siege tank. The SCV can repair almost at fast, but not quite. Well, this other SCV is going to build the eBay and then immediately build a missile turret, most likely. Now focusing on the other SCV. And another Marine coming up. That Wraith could not be the final Marine. So the Wraith will go away, and now Cryoc can afford to put 2 turrets down. Or 1 turret. However he wants to do it. Oops. Maybe not an oops. This is Cryoc's second eBay, but he might be just wanting to get this one for vision. It's possible. Now Cryoc bunching up all of his siege tanks again, keeping them all by the single turret so that Wraiths can't pick off the fringe ones. Okay, control I. I want to see these SCV counts. Alright. 35 to 42. So Bizzy does have extra SCVs. That accounts for something here. But it's just really... I don't know why it's that much of a benefit for him. Because it seems like they're both producing. Or... I didn't phrase that right. But I don't understand why that's coming in so strong for him. And he has such an advantage in terms of production. Because, I mean, he's producing off of 2 starports, and both of them are producing off of 1 factory. And Bizzy's been able to get up his 3rd. Cryoc also getting up his 3rd, but Cryoc should have an advantage somewhere, and you just don't see it. Looks like Wraith's going in to harass on Cryoc's mineral line, and that's going to do a lot of damage. Cryoc does not have anti-air. He has a couple Marines, but just not enough. Stim is done. But man, when I argue that Marines are good versus Wraiths, it's not, oh, my opponent's going Wraiths now, let's counter with Marines. It's, if you already had Marines, their Wraiths won't be very effective. And Cryoc is just starting his Marine production now, so he's behind the 8 ball. Alright, well, expansion's down for both players. Bizzy's is populated, Cryoc's is not. Cryoc does have this strong position, but I'm not sure what this position's getting him with his opponent going Wraiths. Wraiths are a little bit too good. A little bit of fanciness there. Using this siege tank to, excuse me, using that siege tank to help micro the Wraiths. Terran actually has a little bit more options than races like Zerg do, because you can use a siege tank, or you could use a trapped SCV, or you could use a SCV that's building something. That works as well. With Zerg, you pretty much just have to use the Overlord. And one Wraith going down, but he does manage to take out the turret. The Marines are coming up though, and the Marines need to be dealt with. The Wraiths could engage those Marines really easily, and there's a lot of tanks to be killed. Instead, the Wraiths are dancing around a little bit. I don't like this idea from Bizzy. Bizzy needs to just back off and let his Wraiths do their job, because the Wraiths can do a lot of damage here against that many tanks. He doesn't need to be engaging quite yet with his tanks. Just keep them back here. Everything will be fine. Okay. Alright. You do have to be cautious with Wraiths. I absolutely agree with that. But I think Bizzy might be have been a little bit too cautious. I think he could just kill him. There's only one turret. He has 7 Wraiths? Oh wow, now he has 11. Yeah, he could definitely go in and kill the turret. It's going to cost him one already injured Wraith. But now, more important than that Wraith, he gets to kill off the siege tanks. One siege tank is certainly worth more than one Wraith. No, Bizzy just threw away a tank. There was absolutely no reason to be doing that, as the Wraiths could have finished off all the tanks by themselves. Cryoc's still trying to set up positions here. It's kind of a bad place to be trying to establish a position completely in the middle of the map, in the wide open, no terrain. So these tanks are just going to continue to march forward. There's really nothing Cryoc can do. I guess I don't think so. Bizzy has his science facility. Is it for upgrades? Does he have 1-1 on his race already? No, he just has 1-0. It could be potentially for +2 attack, but +1 defense would be really nice on the Wraiths, especially with Cryoc's only form of anti-air being the Marines. Okay, expansion down here for Bizzy. So now Bizzy has 4 bases, Cryoc has 3. The Wraiths are still looking for an opening, but now that's enough Marines that's not worth going in. I think it really depends on the situation, but before when Cryoc only had 7 Marines or so, it was good. Now when he has 20-ish, no, not worth it. And, ooh, Bizzy getting risky here, taking a lot of shots from the Marines, but it was only 4, so it's not that bad, even if they do have stim. Now, though, now he's starting to lose a lot, and random Goliath, a couple Goliaths getting taken out. These Wraiths still trying to make something happen. Well, it's working. It's working. Now these Wraiths are doing a lot of damage. Loses another Wraith, but more reinforcements coming up. Up to 10 Wraiths in this party, with still that one siege tank just chilling back here. So, more Wraiths. Still on that science facility. It was in fact for +2. Interesting. With how much the science facility costs, he's investing a lot in +2 attack on the Wraiths, but certainly may turn out to be worth it, as these Wraiths are doing a lot of good here. Coming in, gonna be able to take out the single turret. One turret's just not going to matter against that many Wraiths. They can take it out so quickly, only get off maybe 3 shots. And then they get a kill at so many SCVs before the Marines come back. Now the Wraiths are not scared of these Marines. Alright. Man, Cryoc, I don't know what Cryoc's options are here. He really just does not have enough Marines to deal with it. When the Wraiths outnumber the Marines, and you're producing Wraiths almost at the same rate as he is Marines, it's just never going to get better. It's only going to get worse from here. Starport number 5. Looks like he has double armories, but he's not using the other one, despite having 5k 1k, or 4.5k 1k. Well, alright, looks like Cryoc has a science facility of its own. What is he going to be using it for? For extra marine upgrades? He's at 1-1 already, so getting 2-2 now. Also getting some dropships. It's a risky play going for dropships. Your opponent has so many Wraiths, the chance of dropships getting picked off is rather high. But he needs to go for something risky here. I think it might be his best option, if he has any good options at all. A lot of these Wraiths are really injured at this point. 9 health, 6 health. Oh, there goes one. More Wraiths coming down on this side. It looks like Cryoc's trying to take this natural over in the bottom left. But it's going to cost him a lot of tanks. He could not get his missile turret set up in time, and the Wraiths are going to easily chew through this, even with missile turrets. I don't think it would have made a huge difference. It would have been able to kill some Wraiths at least, but Wraiths are too strong. There's still an SCV here, and an SCV up here with the cancelled CC. Alright, Cryoc. He's got 4 dropships. He needs to avoid these Wraiths. Well, Wraiths going in, making it pretty easy to avoid when they are in your third, taking out every SCV. Except for one. One very lucky SCV to escape with 13 health. 25. Wow. That did not seem like 25. But, oh, going in for more. Going in for more. So many SCVs dead. Cryoc has 1 shot. And he's using it to attack just these side expos. Cryoc. I mean, he's going to be able to do some good damage of his own, but it doesn't matter because Bizzy has dealt so much, has so many more bases, and has dealt even more damage. I mean, like, it's 8 compared to 35. And loses a couple Wraiths there, but Cryoc loses every Marine but this one. Alright. So, Yamato researching. He's researching Yamato, but only one of these starboards has a control tower. It's only one of upcoming battle cruisers right now. He'll have to lift off and try to replant them somewhere else. Looks like the rate's going in for a little bit more harass. We have more upgrades. That's 3 attack. So they'll be at 3 attack, 1 armor, compared to 2 on the Marines. There are also all these dropships, but there's not exactly a whole lot of units to be putting in them. I guess you could load up everything here and go for some kind of attack. Well, M&M attack down on Bizzy's bottom left, and Bizzy will clean that up, take out his command center, although he did lose all the SCVs down here, and his command center is burning. He needs to remember to repair that, but the race coming back, doing equal, if not greater damage of their own, and can take out all of these Marines? No, not going to take out the Marines. They could, but going to choose to save the Wraiths instead. Moving in, taking out the Armory, even though the Armory is not doing anything, because neither one's upgrading, and he's not getting any Goliaths anytime soon. So a little bit funny. Or Valkyries, for that matter. Now, I'm just going to dart right back out, attack this command center, and should be able to finish it off before the Marines get here. As Marines are on their way. Command center down, scanner down, refinery is going to go down. Cryoc is known a little bit for some kind of poor GG timings. Surprisingly, he still does have minerals at his natural, or at least significantly more than Bizzy, but Bizzy's already transferred some of his units away, and the mineral patches are much more depleted than these ones. But Cryoc, he's been harassed so much there by the race, still has a good amount. Now Wraiths going in for the attack, taking out Cryoc's forwardmost positions. Can just A-move the Wraiths here, doesn't have to worry about anything as these Marines are just going... Yeah, they are going to repel the Wraiths. Really? Alright. Bizzy could have just killed him there. But instead, Cryoc GG's, and Bizzy takes game 1. Alright, this finals is a best of 7. A little bit of a stretch. Little bit of a stretch. Been doing this for like 5 hours now. Ugh. Alright. Okay. Here we go. Go check this. I'll make myself a little bit depressed. Alright. So, in the bottom position is Bizzy. He is the purple Terran. In the left position is Cryoc. He is once again the white Terran. And the map is Outsider. Now this was the map where Cryoc really figured out how to play TVT in this style. Just because this map is so good for dropship harass, and there's so many different places you can bring in the dropships. Last time around, he really didn't get a chance to get to that stage of the game. He did have drops, he did get dropships, but at that point, not only could he not do enough damage, he had to be too careful with the dropships. He couldn't just attack and everything would be fine. So, alright. A little bit more stretching as we have neither player going for proxies. So we got a little bit of time before both players get their factories down. Now, Bizzy's kind of it's a little bit weird when I say Bizzy doesn't play Terran. because he does play Darren in his other matchups. It's just normally he plays ZVT instead of TVT. But he has been known to play TVT on occasion. I remember there was some discussion at the beginning of this Gambit Cup season that he was going to switch to a TVT player. Or some discussion in something he was going to play in, that he plays TVT. Anyway, it's, So, compared to people like Michael, and especially Choosy or Lockdog, he certainly is more of a Terran player than them, who their Terran in any situation is strictly an off race. But still, he's not a true TVT player, not a true Terran player. Does play that pesky Zerg every now and then. So, both players. Alright. Both players getting their refineries. Kind of interesting that in our that before we saw lots of players going for 1 Rax FE and even 14 CC in the Michael versus Tasakwa game. But now, where Cryoc never goes for that early expo, also Bizzy is Bizzy is choosing to not go for that fast expo. I wonder if it's reaction to Cryoc, or if he realizes that that's what Cryoc does. He's going to go for that same attack. Okay, so Cryoc adding his machine shop. Has he stopped marine production? Interesting. Looks like Cryoc is stopping marine production and already has an SCV. No, SCV's going away. What is that SCV doing? Where's Cryoc gonna spend his money? Into siege mode and a siege tank and a marine. Okay. Maybe. Apparently Cryoc was cutting marines so that he could get his siege mode out as soon as possible. And, excuse me, and he will be going for that same kind of attack he has been going for. Meanwhile, Bizzy going to starport and hiding it a little bit. I like this a lot. On this map, there's no reason to not hide the starports, or any other tech for that matter. This base just has so much room, and it's not as if you have to worry about, well, it's going to take longer for my race to walk over to the ramp, because they fly. They don't have to walk over to the ramp. I think this is a good move. And I think whenever people play on Outsider, they should always hide their tech at either one of them. It's one of those things where it may slow down the opponent, it may not affect the game at all, but it's never going to be a bad thing. It's not as if... I mean, the only way it becomes a bad thing is if Cryoc comes in and he drops here, and then all the tech is down at a hard-to-defend location. But that's a pretty extreme example. No. Nobody has been going for lots of Vulture play except for Bizzy, and that lot is used very loosely in that he gets like 4 Vultures at most. You just can't produce Vultures at a high enough rate, and it's not as if the mines are going to do anything against Marines or Wraiths. Speaking of Wraiths going in for harass. They have 1 kill so far. And doing a little bit of micro here, trying to give that Wraith maximum life. And it is going to remain with half health so far. More Marines being pumped out. But on the other side, Cryoc has been able to set up his contain. It's a little bit of a weak contain in the sense that Bizzy has 2 backdoor options that he can expand to. He can even lift the command center over if he really, really wants a gas. So, it's not that threatening for Bizzy here. And Bizzy's doing just fine picking off SCVs with these Wraiths. In fact, he's doing a lot of damage right now. And Cryoc is doing nothing to respond. He's bringing out more tanks. 1 SCV, or excuse me, 1 Marine at a time is being fed to the Wraiths. And then Cryoc goes right back to losing SCVs. Missile turrets have been started, but missile turrets won't be able to get up Cryoc's in a lot of trouble here. Can he counterattack? He could try to counterattack. It's going to be pretty hard up that ramp, but he does have more tanks than his opponent. I'm pretty sure I counted 2 for him, and excuse me, 4 for him and 2 for his opponent. But he has no SCVs, so he could either attack or he could just GG. I don't know what it is about One Factory TBT, but man, the GG timings are very anticlimactic. And it's like the game was over. I'm not saying he shouldn't have GG'd there. What I'm saying is, like, it wasn't after a big engagement and then the engagement's lost and then he GG's. It's just kind of like, I'm done. Alright. So Cryoc is down 0-2. He was down 0-2 versus Te and managed to come back 3-2 overall. He needs to win 4 games in this series. And it's a long road against a very talented player, but it's possible. In the bottom right is Bizzy as the brown Terran. On the left side is Cryoc as teal. Cryoc definitely is having some trouble dealing with the Wraiths from Bizzy at this point. And last time versus Te, he did the same build 2 times in a row, going for that kind of weird mass bio with no gas style. It wasn't working out for him, and after he lost 2, he switched to the style he's using now. Then he used that style so far 3, 6, 8 games in a row. First 6 games, won them all. Last 2 games he's lost, so he's back to losing 2 games in a row using the same build. Does Cryoc switch it up again? Or does he remember that he's still 6-2 with this build so far and stick with it? Oh. Yo, somebody in the chat is new to Foreign Brood War. Because we take all the precautions to anti-spoil the sets, man. There is a possibility that those sets were just called 6 and 7 and then are different games that were never played because the series ended 4-1. Not even I know whether those are anti-spoiler sets. Only 3 people know whether or not that Game 7 is an actual Game 7. And those would be Bizzy and Cryoc, our 2 players, and the organizer who assembled the replay pack. I don't even spoil myself, man. I don't know. For all I know, this could be a 4-0. The only one that wasn't... The only one that wasn't anti-spoilered was the Michael series. But that was just because one game got played and it was kind of weird. Bizzy saying he's not a fan of this map. Nah, I don't know about this map. It kind of feels like... It feels like a little bit of a lame attempt to be Outsider. But I do like Outsider a lot. So a map that kind of copies Outsider in a way still isn't that bad. I don't know. The only thing I don't like about this map is that people just see horrible imbalance on it. So in Pro League, it was nothing but PvPs. And that was boring. You want some other races to feel that they have a chance. In Foreigner matches, though, we've had some great games with Terrans in them. And so obviously some great games with Zergs and Protosses as well. So I think that this map, I wasn't sold on it at first, but it's grown on me. I like this map a lot more than I did at the very start. It is a little bit funky, agreed. But I think it has the right amount of funkiness to be an okay map to throw in there with a bunch of more standard maps. Alright. Well, Cryoc's bunker rushing, as you can see. And it's getting me to look at the bunker up. The bunker is going to finish. Is that bunker in range of the other bunker? No, it's not. Either that or this Marine's just not firing, but no. Those 2 bunkers are out of range of each other, which kind of means that this bunker for Cryoc doesn't mean a whole lot, But these two Marines that are out are doing great damage at this point. The SCVs are not attacking them, and they're getting a lot of kills here. And this one Marine now surrounded by SCVs, gonna get out of there. Going to try to get out of there. More reinforced Marines coming up. There's now 2 Marines sitting outside the spawn for of Bizzy's barracks, which means that the Marines are going to go down very quickly here. More coming in for Cryoc. Did Cryoc win with a bunker rush in a bunker he didn't even use? It's starting to look like it. More SCVs being pulled, trying to get anything done. We're certainly at the point where Bizzy is going to have an economic deficit. Cryoc with the Vulture follow-up. GG for Bizzy. And Cryoc mounting the comeback. Or at least attempting to. Somebody sending me something. Let's create the next game in the meantime while I check that out, make sure nothing's horribly wrong. Man, this guy keeps contacting me. Like this, I haven't last time I casted, he was also like asking me unrelated questions during my cast. Just like on stuff. And then I didn't cast for 2 weeks. Didn't hear from him. First day back casting, fucking asking me about stuff. He has terrible timings. It's like he sees my name on the sidebar and he's like, oh yeah, Hacklebeast, I remember that guy. I need to have a conversation with him. Probably not doing anything important right now. Alright. So, bottom right is Bizzy as the orange. And bottom left is Cryoc as blue. I do believe this is Othello. Yes, this is in fact Othello. With the fun diamond. I think Othello is one of the maps. A lot of them, and I feel this way about a lot of the maps from like the 2008, 2009 time. Othello is just a cool map to look at. And to say nothing about the balance of the map or how it plays out or anything like that, because in that regard it's just kind of a meh map. But just looking at it, just looking at the diamond shape and the way the bases are laid out, it just looks cool. I think that diamond pattern is sick. There are certain maps that I feel that way about. This one, Sin Chapung Ryung, that's a sick looking map. Katrina, that's a sick looking map. Trying to remember some other ones now, but no other ones are immediately coming to my head. Andromeda looks pretty cool too. All right. So, all right, Cryoc. I just talked about it, man. It's like he lost 2 games in a row doing the same build, didn't work out, switched it up. Now it didn't work out for him 2 games in a row. Is he gonna switch it up permanently again? Is he just gonna stick with bunker rushing his opponent? I mean, it worked out fabulously. Could hardly have been better. I mean, he could have built that first bunker a little bit closer to his opponent so that it actually made a difference. But alright. It doesn't look like that, though. He does have a scout coming out. Maybe he doesn't want to do it if he can't get the scout off into the opponent first, but nah, he doesn't seem to have a huge number of Marines here. Just getting his factory. Going back to his Game 1 and Game 2 builds. Yeah. Sin Chapung Ryung's a sick map. That's one of the maps that I don't think gets enough love. Like, I need to start making a list for maps. Not necessarily like my favorite maps or the best maps ever, but maps that just aren't used enough. Sinchapungryung, definitely on there. Fortress, definitely on there. Grand Line, definitely on there. But yeah, Sinchapungryung, the absolutely fantastic map. So, once again, we're going to see Bizzy go for a couple of vultures early. I think that Bizzy's been building... I think Bizzy builds vultures when he feels threatened. Actually, building up to 3. Wow. I think he's building them when he feels threatened. And after that last game, Cryoc was really aggressive and put on the pressure. So Bizzy just wants a little bit extra security. He doesn't want to have to wait until the machine shop finishes and then wait for a siege tank to come out. And then it's only 1 siege tank when he could instead have 3 vultures. And it did work against Cryoc in the game on Jade, but... I don't know. Delaying that tank can be so vital at times where Cryoc already has the first tank out before Bizzy even starts his machine shop. Now has 2 tanks up before Bizzy starts first tank. There we go. Tank just started now. Siege mode started as well. You have to assume Cryoc is done with his. And nope. Takes out one of the vultures. If Cryoc wanted to, he could go for an attack here. It's a little bit short on Marines, but Bizzy doesn't exactly have a huge force either. And if he was smart about where he sieged, he'd be able to do some damage. But it's still a risky play, and even more risky when you consider that as soon as you leave, that vulture can sneak in, try to pick up some nice kills. So, I can respect the decision to not want to do anything. Oh. He's supply blocked, waiting for that depot to finish. So, 2 star ports for Bizzy. And we really are just settling into both players going with their favorite builds. Alright. So, oh boy. It's, Cryoc needs to be very careful here. He needs to get his Marines in there to help defend against Bizzy's stronger force here, as Bizzy does have some Marines to help out. Not as many tanks though, and now the Marines are coming up. SCV's being pulled for Bizzy. A bad time to pull them, and it's just going to allow the tanks to pick off a couple of them. Oh, Bizzy losing a tank, and that is huge. Cryoc taking that excellent position that he wants, and he didn't even need siege mode in that fight. It looked scary there for a moment, but everything's going to work out great for him. And is now sieging down Bizzy's, sieging down Bizzy's command center. First couple Wraiths are out. There are 3 Marines there, but 3 Marines will not beat 2 Wraiths. More reinforcements coming? No, not really. In fact, one of the tanks is heading back. It looks like everybody is abandoning the siege tanks here as the siege tanks retreat. Probably should bring these guys back too. There's only 1 Marine, and this is looking disturbingly reminiscent to Outsider now, where it's 2 Wraiths versus 1 Marine, then 2 Wraiths versus another Marine, then 2 Wraiths versus another Marine, then 4 Wraiths versus a Marine. And Cryoc just can never get the AA he needs. Oh, doing damage. But now focusing on the wrong Wraith. Bizzy pulling back his injured Wraith. Now both of them are relatively low health. And oh, that turret's going to get one. Yes, the turret does take out one. Just that 36 health Wraith remains. I'm having trouble today saying Wraith. That non-existent lisp that I never had. Clearly trying to shine through. Alright. So, Bizzy's now adding his control tower. Going to get some scan. We're going to have to... Cryoc's going to have to get some scan, I should say. Where's the... There is no academy. Cryoc is not going with the bio follow-up, instead going for wraiths. But they're pretty late wraiths. Alright. Well, the academy's at least on the way, so he will have scan. We'll have some way to deal with wraiths that aren't immediately by his base. And Bizzy is getting a dropship. Alright. Well, there are some good opportunities for drops on Othello. Obviously, this high ground being target number 1. Very, very annoying to have tank siege up here, and then Marines to guard the access point. But we'll see where he wants to go with it. Cloak now researching. The dropship is out. Did he load it up yet? Yes, he did, with 2 tanks. Alright. Very nice. Going to be pitting him up on this high ground. Cryoc cannot see it, and they will be able to get the first shot off. And, ooh, using the Wraith to help snipe here. But unfortunately, excuse me, unfortunately there was another tank here that really evened the odds there. And none of those shots missed. So, that attack not doing a whole lot for Bizzy. But nice idea there. That certainly can be a very annoying cliff at times. And wow, Cryoc not even going Wraith production, just going straight to Valkyrie. Interesting. Alright, we have not yet seen Valkyries be effective, despite anytime somebody builds them. But this early in the game, there's no way that they could glitch out and not be able to shoot. I don't think. Right? No way. And Cryoc is going for barrackses. These are very late barrackses, and God, Bizzy already has so many wraiths. It's... I don't know, it's like, imagine trying to play a TVZ where you don't start making Marines until after you have a starport. It just doesn't work, because you'll never be the Mutalisks would always be able to keep down your Marine numbers. And that's exactly what Bizzy's been able to do so well. It's why Bizzy's been getting this far in the tournament. Oh man, I thought he was going to go for more of an air focus thing, and I don't like that either necessarily. Just because you're going on you're starting out on uneven footing. Your opponent already has a Wraith advantage, probably already has the upgrade advantage. Although not in this case. Bizzy's +1 is behind Cryoc's +1, which is actually already finished. So, tanks are done. Excuse me, tanks are down. Up at this high ground. And Cryoc with 1 Marine. Gonna get in there, do a little bit of damage. Does buy a little bit of time though, allows a tank to get into better position here. And Valkyries unfortunately cannot shoot ground, so they're not going to help out a whole lot here. Alright. So, Cryoc needs to get that great engagement off. He needs to find a chance where Bizzy's coming in for snipes with the wraiths, and then clumps them up a little bit too much, and the Valkyries can get the first shot off. If the wraiths get the first shot off on the Valkyries are going to lose. They won't get enough damage done. If the wraiths are too spread out, then the Valkyries still won't get enough damage done. Looks like the wraiths are going to cloaking up, and oh no. Cryoc. Cryoc losing a Valkyrie. Whoa. Like, I never noticed that before. I did not know what the death animation was for a Valkyrie. Or what the death sound for a Valkyrie was. I did not notice that it was like a Wraith. It's like a Wraith explosion, but a lot lower pitch. Significantly lower. Huh. Learn something new about StarCraft every day. Alright. So, science facility for Cryoc. He needed that to get up his +2 attack, which will be starting after his +1 armor finishes. Getting out a lot of Valks. He has a lot of Valkyries. And this really does feel like a TVZ. It really does feel like Bizzy is the Zerg player, and he's using his Mutalisks / Wraiths to do harass, to try to snipe stuff, and he's using his Lurkers / tanks to try to control position, not allow the Marines to run wild where the Wraiths can't control. Taking expansions up at the top right, so that Cryoc has to traverse a really far way to get there. It really just feels like a TVZ with Zerg having battlecruisers. Alright, the battlecruisers really don't fit into this equation, because battlecruisers are not Ultralisks. Battlecruisers cost twice as much as Ultralisks. They are in a class of their own. Nah, they're not like Guardians. Because Guardians, I mean, like, on paper, you can kind of, like, match them up a little bit like that. But, effectively, Guardians are just a gimmick. Guardians are, well, I've got some leftover Mutalisks. Let's just make them into Guardians, see if I can kill off a bunch of stuff in the natural. Nope, I didn't? Oh well, never go back to Guardians again. It's kind of like, let's just burn 1,000 gas and see if I can win the game instantly. Most of the time you don't win the game instantly, but sometimes you do. Battlecruisers are a huge investment, and it's like, I am betting everything on these battlecruisers in a lot of situations. It's like, yeah, on paper they're similar, but their roles are very different. There's a lot more investment going on with the battlecruisers. A very nice engagement for Bizzy. Didn't get a chance to actually comment on it, though we did see it. Killing off all those Valkyries just makes everything so much easier. It means you can use terrain advantage. It means you don't have to worry about spreading out your Wraiths. You can get the full effectiveness of them clumped up. You can be far away from everything else and just snipe tanks if you want to, instead of actually going after the Marines. Or you can go after the Marines and lose a couple Wraiths. That works too. But it doesn't matter. You have so many Wraiths. So many Wraiths. All of the Marines are dead. All of the tanks are going to die. They're not going to be able to get that command center. These siege tanks aren't even in range. And here come a couple Valkyries. Bizzy might be overreacting a little bit there. There's only 2 Valkyries. Valkyries are very expensive. Picking them off is quite nice if you can get it. Now, a little bit of a problem here is he has one Wraith that's uncloaked. If the Valkyries attack the one Wraith that is uncloaked, the splash will still hit all the other ones. So with one being uncloaked, they might as well all be uncloaked, for intent and purposes with the Valkyries. Nope. Or you can just wait for the battlecruisers, which take like no damage from the Valkyries. Oh wait, my bad. They do take damage from the Valkyries. Not that much though. I mean, they have 4 armor, and the Valkyrie's attack is 6. Right? 6? Yeah, 6 plus 1. So it's like 2 damage, 3 damage per shot. Oh man. This Air Force is too strong for Bizzy. Cryoc. Valkyries are not the answer, Cryoc. Oh! Well, that was nice. Coming in, sniping off some of those Wraiths. Oh, that Marine! That Marine was insanely lucky before he got killed. But, like, all those Wraiths turned around and shot, it looked like. And yet... Oh, no, Cryoc! Cryoc, stop losing your Valkyries! The Valkyrie! Valkyrie! Where are the battlecruisers? They're the battlecruisers. They have Yamato. They have 2-1 upgrades. Oh, Yamatoing the command center. It doesn't quite finish it off, but it does do a significant amount of damage. I didn't even see the ones charging up. They were underneath the ones that were firing. But now, Bizzy doesn't even have to worry. That 4 armor. 4 armor means he doesn't have to give a shit about Marines. Does not give a shit about the Valkyries. Just kills everything. GG from Cryoc. Bizzy wins game number 4. And once again, Cryoc is going to have to win 3 games in a row. It would be for the 2nd time in this tournament. But he has to win 3 games in a row to make the comeback and not get eliminated in the finals. Alright. Bizzy very close here to taking it all. Just 1 more game. 1 out of 3 to winning the Ribbon TVT Tour and proving that he is the best foreigner Terran when it comes to having restrictions. On the right side is Bizzy. He is now blue. On the left side is Cryoc. He is now yellow. Alright. What's Cryoc gonna do here? Like, the 1 game he won, he cheesed. Does he actually try cheesing again? Does he mix it up and try some other strategy he hasn't tried yet? I don't know, man. I don't know. Almost certainly we'll see him be going factory before expansion. He seems to like that. Alright. So, sales stream did end. Fucker, man. Started like 2 hours before that kid. And he's gonna end before me. Sale, man. 0 work ethic. Alright. So. We do have Bizzy building the barracks up on the high ground. We saw him, I think this is the only map that Bizzy did this on. Building the barracks outside of his base on, excuse me, on chain reaction. Feel strongly about that, and I can really respect that. I like that a lot when Terran players build it out here on reverse ramp maps. And this being the superest of reverse ramp maps with the tank path on the back here. Really, really strong option here. Alright. But the barracks is indication of the faster command center going down. Command center, then refinery. Now this was where Cryoc really shined versus Lockdog and versus Te. When he went barracks then factory, then did his little 7 marine 1 tank push. It worked really well versus other players. Now Bizzy is better than Te, and Bizzy is better than Lockdog. Certainly better than Lockdog versus Terran. But I don't think too many people would make the argument that he's not better than Lockdog overall. Is it going to work versus Bizzy? In fact, is Cryoc going to try it again? Because he did it in games 1 and 2, and to some extent game 4. All of them failed miserably, and no, he's not going to try it. Instead, just going to go straight for 2-star port, going with the same build that Bizzy was using. Now, Bizzy's been the player who's built the early armory. Bizzy likes getting that early armory, and then investing some of his factory time into Goliaths. It's kind of interesting, because obviously Goliaths are really strong. Strong versus Marines, strong versus Vultures, strong versus Wraiths. They're not strong versus tanks. But really, there won't be that many tanks, so it's kind of fine. The issue is it worth getting Goliaths and not get tanks out of your factory for that amount of time, however long you want to be making Goliaths, instead of just using the money on missile turrets? Is the factory time worth that much money to you? You have to make that hard decision. Obviously, Goliaths are better than missile turrets. It's not a one-for-one equivalence. But they do the same amount of damage to Wraiths, and they do have the same range. So if you're just going to be sitting in the same location, then they are effectively the same as missile turrets in this case. A little bit better, quite significantly more expensive, like more than double the cost. Alright, and we do have Bizzy going for Starport as well, but Cryoc's Wraiths are already there, and Bizzy's is significantly delayed. He waited to get that refinery until after, until after that front CC. Now, Vulture's going for the run-by. There are no Marines in the bunker. The Marines were pulled out to deal with the Wraiths, and they're going to be able to not quite get one, very close to getting one. Those Vultures cannot squeeze through. I thought there was a gap somewhere in there, but apparently not. Both Wraiths still alive now, targeting the... There we go. Targeting the, they were targeting the fuller health one for a while there, then targeting the weaker one. I don't think fuller's a word. More full. But keeping that SCV from making the starport, these Wraiths have 5 kills. There was also a Wraith that died. It had kills. Cryoc is really showing that Wraiths are pretty valuable here. Now Bizzy starting a new starport up there. I guess trying to divert the Wraith's attention. The Wraiths can't stop construction on both of them. So, gonna come down here, gonna stop that SCV from building. Should immediately double back, because that's pretty obvious that that's what Bizzy was doing. To try to stop this one, no, it's not gonna quite happen. A little bit too slow there, so the starport does finish. But with no cloak, it means that the Wraiths can be sniped very easily. 3 Wraiths, that's 2-shotting new Wraiths that come out. It's, man, Bizzy, it's like a complete role reversal. It's a complete role reversal from what we've seen. With Cryoc now having the Wraith Force, he's picking off Marines one by one. The difference is going to be the Goliaths. Goliaths may make all the difference here compared to what Cryoc was able to do in defense. That engineering base still not up, still unable to make missile turrets. It's coming down to that Goliath. Cryoc's engaging. I don't think this is a very good idea. That Goliath is just going to do no much damage, but he does take out the Wraith. He takes out the Wraith, costs him 2 Wraiths to do so. Could have turned out worse. Could have turned out worse. And you know what? If he did retreat there, the Wraith would have pursued, he would have lost 1 Wraith anyway, then turn around, probably would have lost 1 Wraith. So, taking out the pursuing, it probably wasn't too much of a difference. As long as he didn't commit to it. As long as he didn't commit and try to take out the Goliath. That would have been the huge mistake. And I thought for a second he was going to, as a lot of shots happened on that Goliath. But, oh boy. Alright. Cloak researching for, Cloak researching for Cryoc. Man, 2 more Wraiths. Coming out for Bizzy. Bizzy's going to finally start to be able to get his Wraith production moving. But it's, in this case, Cryoc's going to have the advantage. And Cryoc has been one who's been getting really early upgrades. Even though he's been going for air later than Bizzy, he's been ahead of him on upgrades. Now in this case, Bizzy got the early armory. Where is that armory? There it is. Not getting upgrades yet. See how long it takes him to get some upgrades. Alright, and Bizzy is going to get 2 more starports. So Bizzy is committing fully to his Wraith production, to that Air Force. Well, he'll be able to overpower Cryoc pretty soon here, especially with Cryoc not producing anything. A little bit heavy on supply depots here. Cryoc moving in, trying to stop those from being constructed, but it's not going to work out. Why are you cloaking? I don't know. Cloaking for whatever reason, but doesn't help avoid missile turret shots. Now, Wraiths moving back in. They still have the cloak on, so yeah, there's scan. Not quite enough energy for scan yet, but we'll have to keep track of it. Those Goliaths, they can get into good position and then scan afterwards. They don't have to scan as soon as the Goliaths get into range. And that might actually be a smart move. It gives you a little bit more opportunity to do some damage to the Wraiths. And you can even scare them away even if you don't have scan, if you're just standing under them and threatening to scan. Because Cryoc doesn't know how much energy is in this comsat. He cannot tell. It could have 175 for all he knows. Probably not. That seems a little high for this stage of the game, but it could. Nice move by Bizzy there, taking up 2 extra Goliaths. And Bizzy even got the Chiron booster upgrade. So these Goliaths are menaces to the Wraith Force right now. And what is Cryoc going to do? He's getting his armory now. And I don't know what that armory is for. It could be for anything. It could be for the upgrades, it could be for the Goliath, it could be for the Valkyries. All of those seem like legitimate options at this point for Cryoc. Some a little bit more likely than others, but... And he's going back to barracks. Oh, Cryoc! He's gonna start at a deficit again! There will be more Wraiths than Marines! It's like this keeps happening! It's like Cryoc keeps changing little things in his game. Like looking for what the key is to turn it around. And I don't know. I haven't seen the series, I don't know if it does change, and I don't have a whole lot of matchup or a whole lot of experience in TVT where you're limited to one factory. But I really think late bio switches are terrible. I think that's just a terrible, terrible idea to be going for. And he's getting Valks, so he's gonna go for Bio Valk again. Ugh, he's in a better position. He's in a better position than he was on Othello. Because Othello, he was playing from behind when he switched to BioValk. This time, he has a bit of a lead going into BioValk. Can he make BioValk work? Alright. Okay. So, command center's down for Bizzy. Bizzy will be expanding out here soon. Probably wants to wait a little bit longer, get a couple more Wraiths out, and he'll probably lift off as soon as he gets aggressive with his Wraiths. And speaking of getting aggressive with the Wraiths, Bizzy's already out there, blending a little bit too well in with the background there, but managing to pick off a couple things here, slow down process of that expo. And Cryoc has his Valkyries. And so far, every time somebody's built Valkyries, they have lost. This is a rule without exception of the Ribbon One Factory TVT Tour. Alright, looks like Bizzy's going back. This has been a staple of this map. Every time we have Terran players trying to attack these back temples, Cryoc does have a supply depot up, and he does see the missile turret. He knows that something's up if he's paying attention to his mini-map. And these are what's shooting, right? Yeah, these are what's shooting. So the temple won't be up for too much longer. Building lots of missile turrets, actually. Man, and this is the same thing Bizzy did versus Michael, in the same positions. It worked out really well. This time, Bizzy's probably going to put a little something up here, make sure there's no proxy fire bats. Looks like he already has something in the supply depot. Ugh. Alright. So, This is looking really strong at this point. Cryoc did see it, so he had time to get his siege tanks into position. But man, it's too hard for Bizzy to break. Or excuse me, it's too hard to break Bizzy. Bizzy's also gonna have a hard time breaking Cryoc at the same time. But not as hard of a time. He has Wraiths, and Wraiths are gonna make that not impossible. Now Cryoc getting his science facility. What are the upgrades looking like? Nothing for his siege tanks. 1-0 for his Valkyries with 1 armor on the way. Bizzy? 1-0 for his Wraiths with what on the way? With battle cruisers on the way. Okay. With +2 weapons on the way. Okay. So not a huge difference between the two. I think that excuse me. I think Bizzy's is just a little bit stronger. The +2 weapons is a little bit better than +1 armor. But he's going battle cruisers, and that's what really matters here. Wow, really? Getting range? Okay. That's a pretty late range. Cloak Trade's moving in, trying to stop Cryoc from taking Expo up here, and they're going to do a pretty good job of that. They really don't even need to be cloaked. But here comes Cryoc's Air Force. That is a good number of Valkyries. Is there... Okay, 5 Valkyries. Is 5 Valkyries going to be enough? The scan goes down. Bizzy can see the scan, so he knows the Valkyries are inbound. Will he get the shot off? He just needs 1 shot to do a lot of damage here. No, not going to get it off. Well, wow, that's a very dead Wraith. Okay, his Air Force is 3 Wraiths and 5 Valkyries. 5 times 6 is 30, and then 3 times 2 is 6. So, like, that Wraith just, like, was flying by, and it's like, oh man, I lost my squad. I gotta go find them. And then all of a sudden, like, 36 missiles. 36 homing missiles right in the face. And he's like, oh, fuck. And then he died. A lot. Alright. So, try and take out the temples. More cloaked Wraiths coming in. Oh, that's a pretty late scan, and Bizzy's gonna get out of there. Oh man, it's so brutal that you can see the scan. So you know exactly how long you can stick around and then when you need to leave. Because the scan doesn't reveal instantly. There's a little bit of delay. And it's enough of a delay that means that when Cryoc starts shooting, it's not going to be significant. And it's just so brutal. Just that sliver of a delay. It makes so much difference. Cryoc throwing down 3 control towers. Does that mean battle cruisers? That does mean battle cruisers. Man. Bizzy has his control towers. He started battle cruiser production in what may be the very last game of this tour. Whoa. What? Did they walk around? Like, I don't think Redix can slip through. What tanks are blowing up what? There we go. These tanks are blowing up that Zedlaga temple. Alright. So, they'll be taking out that. Can get reinforcements over to the 4th base a little bit easier. Both players on 4 bases. Actually, Cryoc's gonna be up on 5 bases pretty soon here. That's a relatively new one. EMP? Oh shit. Where's the science vessel? Doesn't have science vessel coming out. Alright. So, what I was trying to say a little while ago, what may turn out to be the very last game of Ribbon's TVT Tour, we might get that epic clash of battle cruisers that everybody so much wants. We almost had it on Destination. But really, it was... it's kind of overwhelming when one player had more than double the amount of battle cruisers, and there were only like a control group total. between both of them combined. Now we have time. Both players have good economies. Both players are sitting there. Both players are getting up to their battle cruisers. Cryoc, he went for the bio, and the bio did nothing for him. But there weren't too many critical engagements. It allowed Bizzy to have a little bit extra harass. More harass than he should have. But the decision to go bio didn't lose the game for Cryoc. It wasn't disastrous. So that's good. There we go. More siege tanks trying to take out the temple. Make a little access path in the back here. You can try to attack this expo from behind. Certainly better than going up this ramp. If karate has taught us anything, it's that going up that ramp is bad. This is what we in the business call a meat grinder. It just grinds meat. Alright, Bizzy's moving out. How many? How many battle cruisers? 6 battle cruisers and about 15 wraiths. The bio needs to run away. They only have +1 attack compared to 1 armor. Or 1 upgraded armor. And oh, getting that 1 splash off is so key for the Valkyries. Because it just chases. It chases so far. It does so much damage. You can't split them after you see it. Or like normal players can't. You have to be godlike to be able to do that. Now Cloak going in. The Wraiths. He had to have seen the Wraiths Cloak. He can attack them, but no, he doesn't want to. Just wants to back off with the Valkyries. Does not want to lose too much here against these battle cruisers. Going to allow the battle cruisers to probably take the space. And that's going to even it up. 1 battle cruiser getting a little bit close here. Taking a good amount of damage from that 1 turret, but that's fine. He's a battle cruiser. He has 500 goddamn health. How many battle cruisers we got? Wow. That starport configuration. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like a ring. It's a circle of starports making battle cruisers. It's like you have a bit of a bank, but you don't have that much of a bank, Cryoc. You don't need 8 starports building battle cruisers. No, fuck it. Who am I to tell Cryoc how many goddamn starports he needs? You build those 8 starports, Cryoc. I want to see them all flashing. At some point. We also need science vessels. Cryoc got his EMP. He wants science vessels. He wants to stop that Yamato. Or Cloak. That'd be sick if you EMP'd all the wraiths and they all lost Cloak. I don't think there's really enough wraiths for that to make a difference, though. Well, Bizzy's creeped up with these tanks. These tanks are going to stop mining at, excuse me, at Cryoc's 2 o'clock. Looks like SCV's coming down to rebuild this base, but Cryoc is a little bit behind right now in terms of economy. Flashing, 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 flashing. Yay, he can make them all flash. Nice, just barely too. He used all of his gas to do that. So, when Cryoc originally went Valkyries, it was cool because there wasn't a lot of stuff on the map. Now, lots of stuff on the map. Will the Valkyries fire? Oh, that missile turret got 1 shot off on the command center. Nice. So, will the Valkyries fire? Will the Valkyries firing matter? Just because it's going to be up against mostly battle cruisers. It's not a huge issue. Cryoc, your army's smaller. You got to retreat. It's 3-1 versus 2-2. Oh, the Yamatos! The Yamatos! So many Yamatos from Bizzy. Cryoc should have some Yamatos of his own, but apparently not that many. He also has just significantly less battle cruisers. This is not the engagement he wants to go for. Eating that many Yamatos is bad, but just run. Just run, good sir. It's not worth it. You need more battle cruisers. Oh boy. This force. How many we got? We have... Those are 2... Okay, those are 2 different control groups. Full control group of battle cruisers for Cryoc. Full control group of battle cruisers for Biz... Or, I said Cryoc first. Full control group for both players. Upgrades, similar. 2-2 versus 3-1. A little bit better. Obviously, the 3-1's a little bit better than the 2-1. Because the extra 1 is just 1 armor. But the extra attack is extra 3 attack. So, small advantage. Very small advantage. But Bizzy doing a lot of damage with these tanks. Tanks come down, stop this expansion from being rebuilt. Tanks came over here, shut down this expansion. Now tanks are taking out this temple, gonna try to stop this expansion. But the battlecruisers are on the way. Shut that down. We need a cruiser count. 1, 2, 1. And yep, the battlecruiser's easily gonna be able to snipe off all those tanks. Battlecruiser 16, battlecruiser 16. Oh, shoot. I keep doing that. It's like, oh, they have the exact same stuff. That's awesome. Okay. Battlecruiser 16 for Bizzy, 16 for Cryoc. They are exactly the same. 10 tanks versus 5 tanks. 1 medic with no marines. 64 versus 61 SCVs. Could hardly be more similar. The biggest difference right now is that Bizzy has working bases. Cryoc does not have many working bases. He has 2, one of which is almost mined out. Bizzy has 1, 2, 3, kind of. Oh, hey, there's the medic. Alright. Medic doing a little bit of scouting. Alright. Still only 2-2 for Cryoc. I'm surprised that +3 hasn't kicked in yet. Oh, he did not start that a very long time ago. 3-3 on the way. Honestly, armor does not matter. You could kind of get away with just not getting armor, but there's not a whole lot else to spend your money on, so might as well. Where's Bizzy Armory? There's the Armory. Armory not spinning? Neither of the Armory's spinning. We got some Yamatos going down. Once again, Bizzy getting the better of the Yamatos. He's now at 3-2 compared to 2-2. And, oh, Cryoc's retreating. Cryoc, what's he gonna do? He's gonna make it stand? He's getting Yamatos off. Lots and lots and lots and lots of Yamatos going down. That EMP at Cryoc research, not important. He's going to go in. I think Bizzy has a bigger... No, it's the same. It's the same number on both sides. But... Oh, no, it's not the same number on both sides. Cryoc has 2 less. Okay, I kept clicking on... I don't know why I kept bringing me back to Bizzy's hotkeys, but it doesn't matter. Cryoc, a little bit weaker there, forced to retreat. It's really coming down to the Yamatos at this point. That's twice now that Bizzy got first Yamatos off. And that is huge. Absolutely massive. More battlecruisers. And more battlecruisers. And never-ending stream of battlecruisers. Cryoc, he needs more gas. You need to pick up a guy and put him on gas. 4 on gas everywhere. 4 on the depleted gas. 4 on this gas that's almost depleted. Oh, gotta get the repair going too. Is Bizzy repairing his battlecruisers? Where are Bizzy battlecruisers? Where are the Bizzy battlecruisers? Oh, there they are. They are not getting repaired. There really isn't that much damage though. Really only 1. That's pretty significantly. Alright. Now, nope, there's Goliath. He's adding Goliaths to his army. He's adding at least a Goliath to his army. I like it. You got a factory, use it. Tanks going in for an attack on this base. It's just SCVs to defend. SCVs, there's no armor upgrade on the tank, so the SCVs are going to do decently. And they're actually going to take out a bunch of them. Delay mining a good amount here. There's still this medic. Everyone has just ignored that there's a medic there. Bizzy doesn't give a fuck. He's like, yeah, I've got a base there. Come challenge my battle cruisers. Try to take it from me. Oh shit. Oh shit, we have not seen ghosts yet. Where? Where are the ghosts? Give me the ghosts. I don't see any nuke silos, so it's for lockdown. I hear Zishank firing somewhere. Attacking a building or something. I don't know where it is. I want to find the ghost though. Ghost? Ghost! It's a ghost. What? Oh, he's sacrificing all his SCVs. Okay. I was like, what? Cryoc's attacking a base? That doesn't make any sense. No. Bizzy. Trying to free up supply, man. You got 7k minerals. 8k, 9k minerals. Might as well, man. You need that supply for ghosts anyway. And for nuclear missiles. Nuclear missiles take up supply, man. You gotta feed those nuclear missiles. Oh boy. Alright. That command center! It like passed the battlecruiser and then all of a sudden it's like, oh fuck. Trying to fly back. Going for the snipes on the command center. 4 health, 3 health, 2 health, 1 health. No, not going to be repaired. Here come the battle cruisers. They're kind of fanning out a little bit. It looks like Cryoc has his Yamato all clicked in. But if he doesn't pull back, Bizzy could fly back to some turrets. Oh no, the medic. The medic. No! Medic dead. Alright, he did have the Yamatos keyed in to a certain extent. But Bizzy's attacking. This is a terrible attack path for Bizzy. Despite having more battlecruisers, he's not attacking with all of them. That's going to give Cryoc a bit of an advantage. Is it enough of an advantage? Is it the advantage Cryoc needs? Both players at 3-3. Cryoc pulling back. I don't know. Who has more? Did Cryoc need to pull back? Battlecruisers 15. Battlecruisers 9 for Cryoc. But Cryoc did have a deficit. Where are the ghosts? Where are my damn nuclear missiles? Nuclear missiles. Oh, wow. He's just getting locked down now? Alright. I assume that was first, because it seems like a more important one than the cloak, but... Alright. I know he wanted them for lockdown, but... Come on! You've got them anyway! Give me the nuke! Did he... Okay. It just occurred to me. I was like, did he lift up his science facility and build a different add-on? Or did he have 2 science facilities? He has 2 science facilities. That would be sick if he built them next to each other and then he just like hopped back and forth for whether he wanted to make a ghost or make a BC. More SCVs to be sacrificed. Oh man, Cryoc, he's at 172 supply. He's almost caught up to Bizzy once again. He's at 197. Just a 20 supply difference. There is a science vessel. Science vessels versus lockdown. And oh, the lockdown! The lockdown's going in! He's got a good number of them. That's all he needs. He can now go in with the battlecruisers. Win! Easy peasy. And here we come. The battlecruisers are moving in. Those lockdowns. Those 4 lockdowns might have been all he needed. The Goliaths are going to get in there. The Goliaths are going to do something, but without battlecruiser support, they die so damn quickly. The Goliaths also do not have upgrades. Normally they have upgrades at this point. EMP! EMP! Doesn't need EMP, or EMP won't make a difference. There we go. EMP on the battlecruisers. There's no Yamato, but it doesn't matter. The lockdown, too good. GG. Bizzy takes it. Oh, 4-1. Very nice. Alright. Okay. That's it for me, man. Oh, nice little 6-hour cast there. Nice way to start the day. I want to get some breakfast. Thanks everybody for watching. Thank you to the sponsor, Ribbon. A really big thanks to Ribbon. This is not his last tour. There will be a Protoss one. Apparently, the stakes have been decided. I have my vote in there. I think what I thought was really cool. I think my idea was really cool. We'll see if they go with it. Maybe not. They'll come up with something cool if they don't. I'm not worried about that. PvP is going to be great. Thank you to Game for organizing. Thank you to the players. And once again, thank you to all the viewers. Man, I set my alarm for 6 a.m. to wake up for this. And then I immediately got ready for the cast. And, man, I really want breakfast. Breakfast is delicious. The next time I'll be casting is ASL. ASL starts back up next weekend. Going into group stages, Friday, Saturday cast, stupidly long casts. Doty or Elegant or both should be there, or neither. Let's just say that. Either Doty or Elegant or both or neither will be co-casting with me. I don't know yet. Great cast. Bye, everybody.